Stop messing around, guys. Rich people need their shit.
Come on, go cruising, cruising.
Let's ride.
Come on, go cruising. Let's go cruising.
Catch the buzz.
Let's go cruising. Let's go cruising.
Come on.
Come on, let's go cruising.
Alright, so we're going with the demo today. This is actually the test truck for the automatics estate. That's why we're doing this right now. Alright, so you're going to start at the front of the vehicle. You're looking at your top clearance lights, your turn signals, four-way hazards, marker lights, your high beam, your headlights, high beams, low beams. All lights are working. None are cracked or missing. Okay? Look under the truck. Look for any puddles, drips, or leaks. Alright? Go ahead and open up the door. Alright. Now you may want to come a little closer. Alright, so I know what the list says. It's talking about the water pump. The water pump is not always on this side of the truck. Same as the alternator. The alternator on some automatics may be on the driver's side. Okay? In this case, the alternator is right here. Okay? It's right here. You can see the positive cable, the red cable coming out the back. Alright? Now, it is mounted securely, not cracked or broken. Wires have a good connection, not cut or frayed. Do not mention it as belt driven. If you see a gear driven alternator, please videotape it. This is the AC compressor. That's just for air conditioning. You don't even have to mention it. But everybody likes to say it's the water pump. It's not. This is just the AC compressor. Don't even worry about that. That's what you're checking it from the engine to the back, mounted secure, not cracked, broken, not leaking. Okay? Now, all your other hoses are attached securely, not leaking or cracked. Your belt is not frayed or cracked and has no more than 1/2 to 3/4 inch of play at the center. Okay? Alright, now going to the other side. Alright, now, the easiest way to find the water pump is to look for the lower radiator hose. That's a hose like this. If you go down, you'll see where it's coming out of the lower part of the radiator. Follow it in. Usually goes right into the water pump. However, on this particular truck, it's actually going to the thermostat. That's the thermostat. However, the thermostat's directly connected to the water pump, which is right here. Okay? The water pump's belt driven. Okay? It is also mounted secure, not cracked, broken, or leaking. By the way, if it has anything to do with fluids or air, automatically throw in not leaking. Okay? If it's anything like your nuts or your bolts, and this we'll get to later, automatically throw in not loose or not missing. Okay? Alright, now, your oil, your coolant, your power steering fluid are all full. Okay? Now your air compressor, which is back here, your power steering pump is down underneath. You can follow that hose, but it's down beneath, behind the frame of the tractor, so you can't see your power steering pump. Okay, both of those are mounted securely, not cracked, broken, not leaking, and they're both gear driven. Okay? Your steering gearbox and hoses, mounted securely, not cracked, broken, not leaking. This is your pitman arm, your drag link, your steering knuckle. Okay? They're not cracked bent or loose. Your castle nuts are tight. Your cotter pins are not missing. Okay? Now, your spring mounts. It's your spring mount here, your front, your rear, center at the U-bolts. They're mounted securely, not cracked or broken. Your leaf springs and your shocks. Okay? Mounted securely, not cracked or broken. Your shocks are not leaking hydraulic fluid. Okay? Okay, your brake hose, your brake chamber. Your brake hose, mounted securely, not cracked or leaking. Your brake chamber, mounted securely, not cracked or broken, and not leaking air. Okay? Your slack adjuster and push rod, mounted securely, not broken, loose, or missing parts. And your push rod, there's no more than 1 inch of free play at the push rod with the brakes released. Okay, your drums and linings. Okay, now this is important. You got to know the difference between drums and linings and disc and rotors. This truck has drums and linings. Okay? Mounted secure, not cracked or broken, not worn dangerously thin. And for the disc brakes, rotors and pads, if the truck has that, make sure the rotors are not cracked, dented, and has no holes, no loose or missing parts or bolts, and the pads and rotors are not worn dangerously thin. I'm going to get a chance to actually look at the red truck because it does have that. Okay, your tires. Proper inflation is indicated on the sidewall. Now let's see, where is it here? Everybody says indicated on the sidewall, but nobody knows what it looks like. Here it is. Okay. Condition, no bulges or cuts. And has a minimum tread depth of 4/32. Alright, your rims. Not cracked, broken, and no welding repairs. Lug nuts. Mounted secure, not cracked, broken, not loose or missing. Okay? Your inner and outer hub oil seals. Not leaking, and if there's a sight glass present, see its proper oil level. Okay? Okay. Any questions at this point? Okay? That's the engine compartment in front of the truck. Close the hood. Alright. Now, your door hinges and mirrors. Mounted securely, not cracked or broken. Your door latches securely. Your mirror, mounted securely, and your mirrors are free of obstruction. Okay. Your fuel tank and steps. Your fuel tank is right here. Okay. Your steps, both mounted securely, not cracked or broken. Your fuel tank is not leaking. Your cap is secure. Okay. Also, got your cab marker light, turn signal, 4-way flasher. It's working. Color of amber. You would expect this the same as the lights on the front. Okay. Now, reflective tape. The reflective tape's actually on the back of the tractor. It's in good condition. You can say there's some on the side if you want, but it's usually on the back of the tractor. Reason for that is for when the tractor is bobtail. That means it doesn't have a trailer on it. Okay? Alright, now, this truck has a def tank, as indicated by the blue cap. Okay? So since this one does have a def tank, you have to mention it. Alright? So, it's mounted securely. The cap's also secure, not cracked or leaking, and has a minimum of 1/8 of a tank. Okay? airlines, and electrical line. Securely attached at both ends, not cracked, broken, or leaking. Your catwalk and steps. Mounted securely, not cracked or broken, free of debris. Okay? Your drive shaft. Alright, your drive shaft is mounted securely at the U-joints. Also back here. Alright, it's not cracked or broken, free of debris. Alright, the frame. From the front of the tractor to the rear, and the cross member side to side. Not cracked or broken, no welding repairs. Alright, now. Your header board is mounted securely, no holes or damage. Okay? Your clearance light and reflector, really it's just a clearance light at the top. It's the proper color of amber. You'll also inspect that the same as you did the front. Okay? Time out. Sorry guys, it's 9 o'clock. I'll edit that out later. Alright. Alright, we're going to move on to the drive axle. Alright, we'll save you guys a lot of time and grief here. There are 4 differences between the drive axle and the steer axle. All you got to do is basically list the parts on the drive axle because you already went into detail on the steer axle. So here's how you do that. I'll be checking my spring mounts, front, rear, center at the U-bolts. Make sure you're pointing. Okay. Leaf spring and shocks, even if you have to get down and point things out. Your rims, your lug nuts, inner and outer axle seals, your brake hoses, your brake chambers, slack adjuster and push rod, your drums and brake linings, and if it does have disc brakes or disc brakes and rotors, you check those instead of the drums and linings. But all that you would check those the same as you did on your steers. Okay? Then you go for your torsion rod, which is this bar over here. Your torsion bar is mounted secure, not cracked or broken. Okay, these are one of the 4 differences between your drive axle and your steer axle. Next is your airbag. Mounted secure, top and bottom, not broken, not leaking. Okay, now your tires are evenly spaced, not properly spaced, evenly spaced, and no debris between the tires. Okay, and tires have the proper inflation condition as the steers with a minimum tread depth of 2/32 of an inch. Okay. All right. Now your mounting bolts. These are your mounting bolts. All right. Not cracked, broken, or missing. Your release arm is engaged in the lock position, not cracked or broken. Now this truck does not have locking pins or airlines. The general rule of thumb is if it doesn't have it, you don't have to mention it, but some people mention it. I would say, you know, a lot of people mention it just because, but for locking pins and airlines, if it's equipped, not missing or leaking any air, engaged in the lock position, and there's enough clearance so that the tractor doesn't hit the landing gear and turns. Okay? Alright, now your platform. Platform's what the skid plate sits on. It's mounted secure, not cracked or broken. Your skid plate is mounted secure, not cracked or broken, and properly greased. Your kingpin is what is inside the skid plate right now. And this is the apron. Mounted secure, not cracked or broken. And as you can see, there's no light coming through between the skid plate and the apron, so there's no gap. Okay? Now the locking jaws. You don't have to get under this for this, but the locking jaws are right there. All right, locking jaws are secure around the shank of the kingpin. All right. Now your lights and reflectors. Your tail lights, your brake lights, turn signals, four-way hazards, proper color of red. And you'll inspect those the same as you did your front lights up to this point. Okay? Now, these are your mud flaps. These are splash guards. Okay? They are mounted securely, not cracked or broken. Okay? You're going to check that the reflective tape on the back of the mud flaps are not missing, clean, and mounted securely. Alright, now your landing gear. Mounted securely, not cracked, broken, and fully raised. Okay, now the frame of the trailer. Front, rear, side to side, cross member side to side. You'll inspect that the same as you did your tractor frame. Okay? Alright. Alright, now this is your marker light, turn signal, four-way flasher. Proper color of amber, you'll be inspecting this the same as you did the other lights. Your reflective tape is not torn or missing. Okay? I did say it was proper color of amber, right? Okay, just make sure. Alright, going back. Okay. This is your tandem release arm, or tandem release handle. Alright? These are your locking pins. Okay? You're going to make sure they're secure and locked in place. Otherwise, this entire axle is going to come off the trailer. Okay? Now, for the rear axle, I'm going to name everything as I did for my drive. So, my spring mounts, front, rear, center at the U-bolts, leaf springs, my torque rod, which on the trailer, your torque rod is right here. Okay? Alright. Now this trailer doesn't have airbags and I haven't seen shocks on it yet. That's why it says it's equipped. If you want, you can name it. Name them both just to be on the safe side. So your airbags, your shock absorbers, your brake hoses. It does have brake hoses, brake chambers, slack adjuster push rod, drums, brake linings. Also, you want to check the space between the tires. Your rims, your lug nuts, your tires, check your inflation, check your condition, no bulges or cuts, and make sure that the depth, which should be 2/32 minimum, I will check all that the same as I did. I'll check all that on the rear axle or tandem axle, same as I did on my drive axle. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay. Alright. Hold on, I almost forgot. ABS light. So your ABS light, proper color of amber, not cracked, broken, or missing, and it is working. Okay? This is a marker light. It's not on the test, but everybody likes to point this out, but it's just a marker light. Don't worry, you don't have to say anything about that. Okay. Now this trailer has does not have swing doors, it has a roller door. Yeah, it's a roll-up door. So in this case, you're looking at the door cables, the panels, and the latch. This is actually the latch. The hinges are right here, but the latch is here. Okay, so you want to make sure the cables are not damaged or missing. You want to make sure the panels are mounted securely, not cracked or broken, and you want to make sure, of course, it's closed and latched securely. Okay? Now, if the doors were swing doors, you want to make sure that the doors are securely mounted at the hinges. Okay? They're not cracked or broken, and that the doors will last securely and the seal's in good condition. Alright, now, mud flaps on the back of the trailer, make sure it's mounted securely, not cracked or broken. Now, if it does have reflective tape, you want to make sure it's not missing, clean, and mounted securely.
This is broken. Can we say it's broken?
Yeah, you can say it's broken. Okay. Now, that just let them know that you're actually looking. All right. Your tail lights, turn signals, brake lights, four-way hazards, and your 3-center ID lights. Now, your 3-center ID lights don't always have to be at the top. They can be at the bottom. They're the proper color of red, and again, you will inspect those the same as you did all the lights on the front. Okay? And you also want to make sure that the reflective tape is not torn or missing. Okay? Any questions at this point? Okay. I will check this side of the truck as I check the driver's side. And guys, that is the exterior pre-trip.